Hello, fourth graders, and welcome to Unit 4, Lesson 5. Today we'll be learning how to find the perimeter and area of triangles. First, let's review perimeter. Now, we found perimeter of a variety of different shapes, like squares and rectangles. Today I'll remind you how to find the perimeter of a triangle. Remember that, in general, perimeter is the distance around the outside of a figure. You simply add up all the sides in order to solve for the perimeter of a shape. So triangles are no different. We just add up the sides. So in this case, the first triangle here has 7 centimeters, 7, and 7 on all of its sides. So this is an equilateral triangle. Well, in order to find the perimeter, I just add up those 3 sides, and I'll be able to find the perimeter of this triangle. So 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 7, 21 centimeters is the perimeter of triangle 1. Triangle 2 is an isosceles triangle. There are 2 sides that are 10. Remember, 2 sides that are the same as isosceles. And I'll just add up 10 plus 4, so all 3 sides, to get the perimeter. So that's 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 4, 24 inches is the perimeter of the second triangle. The last triangle is a scalene triangle. Ooh, no, it's not. I just noticed that this is 8 and 8, so it is an isosceles triangle again. But in order to find the perimeter, I'll just add 12 plus 8 plus 8. Remember, add up all the sides, and in this case, there are 3 because it is a triangle. 12 plus 8 is 20, plus 8 is 28 feet for the perimeter. So, quick review. Perimeter of a triangle is no different than any other shape. You just add up all the sides to find the perimeter. To get you warmed up for finding the area of a triangle, I first want to review what the area is of a quadrilateral. Now remember, area of a quadrilateral is taking length times width. So on this first drawing, we have a rectangle. Okay, notice that they've already yellowed out one of the right triangles that, when congruent and added to another, it creates a full rectangle. Now let's look at the length of these sides of this rectangle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 for the width, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the length. So the area of the quadrilateral would be doing 7 times 4, and that would be at 28, we could say, inches squared. Now that's the quadrilateral's area. Then it asks me, what is half of that number? Well, half of 28, or 28 divided by 2, is 14. Now, 14 inches squared would be half of the quadrilateral's area, or half of this rectangle, which is the triangle's area. So in red, I gave you the quadrilateral's area. In blue, by splitting it in half, or dividing by 2, we found the triangle's area. So in this case, the next question says, what figure is half of the quadrilateral? Well, we know that that's a triangle. And specifically, it's a right triangle here because we see the box in the corner. So what is the area of that triangle? Well, you take that by taking half of the quadrilateral's area. So we found that that was 14 inches squared. Remember, taking half of something is the same as dividing by 2. So which triangle measurement did we not use, and then why? Well, do you see here inside of the figure, we didn't use the slant D because we just needed the length and width, which needs to be a 90-degree angle. So 7 and 4 create that 90-degree angle. Next, they say, write a formula to find the area of a right triangle. And this is actually the area of any triangle. So we'll be writing a new formula here. To find the area of a triangle, you first take length times width. Another way to think of this is also base times height. And keep in mind that these need to be 90 degrees to each other. Remember when we talked about parallelogram, we needed to find that 90-degree angle. And then we take half of it. So you could write this as length times width, or base times height, times 1/2, That's the same thing as dividing by 2. So there are two formulas there that work. Now, I have another figure here, a parallelogram, that is formed by taking another triangle that is congruent to this blue one and joining one of the slanted edges. So that creates a parallelogram. Well, we would find the area of this parallelogram by looking at the height, which is perpendicular to the base here. So the height, if I count that up, is 1, 2, 3. And the base that is perpendicular to it, remember I used the box to look for what's perpendicular, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's 8. To find the area of this parallelogram, I would do 8 times 3 to equal 24, we'll say, centimeters squared. Now, that's the whole parallelogram, so we're talking about this entire shape here. But the triangle is only half of that. So I need to take 24 times 1/2, like you see here, or that's the same thing as dividing by 2. So now I've already done length times width, or base times height, because those were the 90-degree angle here. So 8 times 3 gave me 24 centimeters. To get the triangle, I divide by 2. So now I take 24 divided by 2, and that will equal 12 centimeters squared. And now I found the area of the triangle. So key thing to remember is that you act like it's a quadrilateral until the very end. You divide by 2. The reason for that is, as you can see here, the triangle makes up half of your quadrilateral. So you're taking half of that area of the whole quadrilateral to find the triangle's area. So now I'm going to solve a few examples for you today. Let's take a look at this first triangle. I notice that the long slant is 5 centimeters, the base is 4, and the height is 3. Now for perimeter, I'm just going to add up the sides, so 5 plus 3 plus 4. 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 4 is 12. So the perimeter is simply 12 centimeters. I just had to add up the sides. Next, area. First, I'm going to need to do length times width. So remember, I like to think of it as base times height, and then I'll divide by 2. So there's the formula I need for area, because remember, I divide by 2 because it's half of a quadrilateral. So here's the 90-degree angle I'm looking for, so I'll be using 4 and 3 for the area to start. So 4 times 3, which equals 12. Then I need to take 12 and divide by 2, which would give me 6 centimeters squared for this triangle's area. Again, as a reminder, I divided by 2. If I just did 4 times 3, then I was just finding the area of the rectangle that this would create. By dividing by 2, I then get just the triangle's area. Let's try it on this next triangle. So on the outside for the perimeter, I see 10 centimeters plus 9 centimeters plus 7 centimeters. I see a measurement on the inside as well, but that's going to be the height, and that's not an outside edge, so I do not use it for the perimeter. So let's get started. 10 plus 9 is 19, plus 7 is 26 centimeters. So I just added up the outside edges, and then I found the perimeter for this triangle. For area, first thing you need to look for is that perpendicular point, or the 90-degree angle. So is it here? Nope, that's definitely less than 90. Here? Less than 90. Here? Less than. How about here? Less than. Okay, so this is why they gave us the dotted line, because right here I see the 90-degree angle. So we'll be using the 10 and the 6 here, because that creates that 90-degree angle. To begin, I will take 10 times 6, so base times the height, and that will give me 60 centimeters squared to begin with. But remember that a triangle is half of a quadrilateral, So now I need to divide by 2 to get half of that total. So then I'll take 60 divided by 2, which I know 60 divided by 2, think what plus what, that's the same number, that gives me 60. That would be 30 centimeters squared as the triangle area. Key thing to remember with triangle area is to find the base and height, which remember must be a perpendicular angle, 90 degrees. Multiply the base and height, and then always remember to divide by 2. Now you're ready to try it on your own, 4th graders. So you're going to find the perimeter and area of these triangles. So this first one here is a triangle that has outside edges 7, 4, and 4, and a height of 2. Find the perimeter and the area. Number 2 is a triangle that's 9, 4, and 6 centimeters and a height of 2. Again, find the perimeter and area of this second triangle as well. Good luck.